vlog, Handy Homemade, and today I am sharing with you my master bedroom. I'm so excited, you guys. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, a snack, or whatever you need because it's probably going to be a long video. But I'm just so excited to dive into everything that we've done in here to make it just a dream come true. And if you are new here, like always, I would love to have you be a part of this friend group or this community. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and leave me a comment, you guys, if you love this room as much as I do and what your favorite part about it is. So let's go ahead and get into everything that we did. I'm gonna be kicking it off with the renovation portion, and then I will get into how I decorated for spring. Okay, you guys, going back to before Handy Homemade was a YouTube channel, was a blog, we bought our house and we didn't really do much to this room in comparison to the other portions of our house. When we got this house, we decided to patch the paneling, so that is something that we did in here. Starting out is we patched all the paneling on the walls. We went with just like a textured mud on the walls because we were in the height of the pandemic. Drywall wasn't an affordable option at the time. We gave everything a fresh coat of paint. So I did Swiss Coffee by Benjamin Moore on the walls, and then I did Chantilly Lace by Benjamin Moore on the ceilings, trims, and door. And then from there we put in new flooring. After we put in our flooring, we basically just lived with it, and I didn't hang anything on the walls. I didn't do honestly anything. We changed the light fixture, and then other than that, we just lived with what we had until I kind of figured out the style that I wanted, the feel that I wanted in this room, and I started piecing together different vintage items to kind of get to the style that I was going for, or the inspiration that I was going for. So I started with the headboard. We had a headboard from Wayfair that was just upholstered. It had really pretty wooden trim, but I just wasn't in love with it. I thought about sanding the wood and staining it, and I just decided that was not the route that I wanted to go, but instead I was gonna look for an antique headboard, and I had a really hard time finding an antique headboard that was queen size. But I found it. I found this one on Facebook Marketplace. I paid $50 for the headboard and the footboard, but the kicker was, it was cherry red. It was a bright cherry red stain with a glossy finish on it, and so it was gonna require a little bit of work. And so I ended up stripping the headboard and the footboard and then sanding them and then staining them. And if you're wondering what stain I use Special Walnut by Minwax. It's the same stain that I've used throughout my entire house. You will find, if you watch my channel or if you read my blog, I am very consistent in my color palette and my stain choices, my brass finishes, mostly because I like my home to kind of flow together and feel very consistent throughout. And so it's the same color stain that I use on our beams in our living room. And it's perfect because in certain lightings it's warm, and then in certain lightings it's a very cool neutral. It's just an all around good color choice for stain. And so I ended up sanding, staining, and sealing the headboard and putting it in, and never got around to the footboard due to time and work and life. And we lived with that for a little bit. Then I decided that I was gonna start hunting for new nightstands, and I come across these nightstands. The bottom stamp says 1883 mahogany wood, and I got the pair for $75. One of them was missing a knob, and they had already been painted. They were painted gray and white striped, and I really wanted to strip them and stain them the same color as the bed, but when I brought them home I realized there was some damage to the wood, and so I ended up just painting them Chantilly Lace by Benjamin Moore as well. And then I got the knobs off of Amazon, and they look almost exactly like the original knobs that were on it. So I'll try to link those down below for you guys as well. We lived with that for another 6 months or so, once we changed those few things out. And I just felt like something was missing. This room, I didn't know if it was color, if it was because the room was just white and cream, there was no depth to it, or that I just didn't know where your eyes should go when you first walk into the room. And that's when I stumbled across a picture of a girl that I follow on Instagram, and I'll make sure to insert it here with her account. She created this French paneling, like molding behind her bed, and I was like, you know what, that is perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. So I showed the picture to my husband, we headed out to Home Depot, and we got wall trim. Used a miter box, cut it down, and then I painted it Stingray by Benjamin Moore. It's just a good focal point, a good place to rest your eyes, and it just fills in this large room because this is quite a big room. I don't know if you can kind of hear the echo, even with a rug and furniture in here, there's still a little bit of an echo. It's a pretty decent sized room, and I just didn't know how to fill it without making it feel cluttered. And I really wanted it to be bright and airy and vintage, but I wanted it to be cozy too. And it was just finding that right balance between the two. So I think I'm gonna take you around the room and just show you all of our pieces and explain to you how I decorated for spring. Like I said, super simple decorations. I wanted this room to feel just like a breath of fresh air, but still feel cozy and calm. And so I didn't want to overdo it as far as decorations go. And let's go ahead and take you around the room. All right, you guys, when you walk into the room, this is what you see. I'm gonna take you around the room and just walk you through where I got everything and then how I also decorated it for spring. So starting out over here on this wall, I got this little peg shelf. I picked this up from Habitat for Humanity for $5. And then everything on it, except for the faux florals, is thrifted. So this is a Falstaff Heritage platter. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I collect the Falstaff Heritage collection, and I found that for $4 the other day at the thrift store, and I just thought it was pretty in here. And then the lantern was a gift. The candlestick I thrifted a long time ago. And then I picked up these vintage looking books. I went with a green and blue kind of color palette. You will find that that's kind of the color palette that I'm going to use throughout my entire room for spring. And I chose that color palette because it just reminds me so much of the outdoors. When it's springtime, the grass is green, the skies are blue and sunny, and I just think it just is a nice pop of color, but it also is very subtle and bright and airy at the same time. And then right here I have this little apple basket with just some faux florals in it that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. Then moving on into this corner, I have my husband's nightstand, and then I have these faux florals in a crock. I plan on doing a whole video on where I get my faux flowers and what I look for, how I like to style them. I did a very wild flowery centerpiece right here, and I love this crock because it matches the color of the walls. And so obviously with spring I love to bring florals into our bedroom. And then up here I have a gold frame that I thrifted, and this is another tip for decorating for spring. Change out your prints. So this print I purchased off of Etsy, downloaded it and printed it out at Walgreens, and I love it. It's the same color palette as the books, the blues, the greens, the whites, and I just think it looks absolutely stunning above my husband's nightstand. Then moving on to the bed, I changed out our bedding. We have a winter duvet that we use every fall and winter when it starts getting cooler outside. And so I switched it over to this one that I picked up off Amazon. I think I paid $40 for it a year or so ago. I love that it almost touches the ground, and I just think it just brightens up this entire space. And I love the ruffled pillows that it comes with. And then as far as this pillow goes, this is the first thing that I ever sewed. So it's not the best in the entire world, but I loved this floral pattern. I've got it from Walmart, and then I just used drop cloth to make the back. But I think, once again, it just matches the blue and kind of green pops of colors that I have going in this room, and I love the ditzy floral on it. And then another tip that you may not have ever thought about, but that is to change out your curtains. If you guys watched my thrifting video from a couple months ago, you would have seen the shears. I think I paid around $5 for them or less, and I ended up putting them in here. And this is a hack. If you only have two, you can tie them like this, and that way you don't have to have 4 panels, because I only had 2 panels, but I had 2 windows that I wanted to use them on. And so tying them up like this, I think it looks very vintage, but also I just love being able to see the lace and the sunshine through the shears. Normally in the wintertime, I like to do more of a drop cloth or heavier linen curtain in here, because I want it to be more cozy and warm in here during the fall and winter months. But I love how the sunlight pours through them and how just bright it is. And then moving on to this corner, I just have my lamp, my Bible, some books that I'm reading. If you're curious about what books I'm reading, I have been reading this book, The Life-Giving Home by Sally and Sarah Clarkson. I've loved it so far, and I highly recommend it, even though I'm only halfway through. And then this has quite a few stains on it, but this is the devotion that I love to do. It's New Morning Mercies. They are pretty deep devotions, which I enjoy. It's not just watered down, womanly devotions. It actually makes you think and dig into your Bible, so I recommend that one. Then I have this lamp. I actually have 2 of these. I got them from Burke's a long time ago, and I painted them. They were gray, and I just painted them a chalk paint from Walmart. And then down there I have our diffuser. So the only thing that I haven't finished in this room is a piece that will be going on this wall, and I want to show it to you because I have to brag on my mom because she did it. So let me go grab that. So I've got to have my husband hang it, but this is what's going to be going up on this wall. It is a cross stitch that my mom did of my husband and I on our wedding day. Isn't that absolutely wonderful? My mom is so talented, and I love it. I thrifted this frame, and then if you guys didn't know, Hobby Lobby will actually cut you a custom mat. So I didn't have a mat that fit this specific frame because it was such an odd length, and so I was having trouble finding one, and they actually cut me one. And then I just put the cross stitch in it that she did, and it matches the color of our bed, and so that is actually going to go there. And I can't wait to have my husband hang that up for me. Then over here I have my jewelry case that I've had since I was a little girl, and then down here I have a basket that belonged to my great grandmother, and I just fill it with my sentimental valuable things. Over here is the door to the bathroom. I will be doing a reveal on it super soon, or it may already be up, and if it's already up, I'll make sure to put it in the eye up above if you want to see that. Then I have our hamper, and then this beautiful vanity. I got this off of Facebook Marketplace for it was a set. So I got the vanity, the stool, and then our guest bedroom bed. It all matches this piece. I got it for, I think, $150 for all of it. But I had actually already bought a vanity for our guest bedroom. And so I ended up putting that one in there, and then this one matched. I thought it was just so pretty because it matched the bed and would be a nice spot to get ready in the morning. I do still have our winter quilt out just because the weather in Mississippi is so finicky right now. I don't want to commit to our summer quilt only, and so I do have this out. I do plan on reupholstering this vanity chair eventually, but for now, it's good like it is. There you have it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you love this space as much as I do. I didn't really mention this before, but everything we did in here, I did on a budget, a very tight budget, just very, simple decor, simple pieces. I thrifted most of I thrifted all of the furniture. Yeah, I thrifted all of the furniture. I thrifted almost all of our decor. And I mean, I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. I don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money. I know I say this every time, but you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a beautiful space. And I feel like more people should hear that. And two, you don't have to be in a rush, because like I said, it took almost a year for us to get to the point of me kind of deciding the style, the feeling that I wanted, and then slowly collecting pieces that match that. So, if you just bought a house, or if you're in a space that you just don't feel quite at home in or just happy with it, give yourself some time. It's okay to do just a little bit at a time, and we're finally to a spot where we're taking each room little bit by little bit, and I'm trying to finish up each room so that they feel complete. But sometimes that just means living with it for a while, even when it's not where you want it to be. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.